All right. We are back to On the Money Podcast. I am Chris Fish. I got my boys with me. I got my big brother. I got Bethel Johnson. How you doing over there, man?
I'm always great, man.
That's
always
good.
great.
That's good to hear. I also got my other big brother with me, Chris Harris. How you doing, Harris?
I'm good, man. Ready to get to it.
All right. We're going to get to it today, guys.
All right.
We got quite a bit of hot topics that we want to get in today.
Let's go.
That's been going on. But I think I want to kind of go into something that that's been really trending out there that I know.
Well, how did we get to these hot topics? First of all, we need to let people understand how we get to these hot topics.
How do we get there? How do we get there?
These are things that people want to know, and they don't necessarily be about money,
right.
But it's a hot topic as relates to what we're doing as far as our content. Mm-hmm. So basically, the hot topics that we're going to give are the ones from our
perspective,
yes. From our podcast.
Yeah, because I know that we got some very different point of views up here, right? And it's going to allow us to see how we can dive up in there because of our perspective on what it is that we see. So the first one I really want to get into, because my Facebook is blowing up, and Bethel, I know you kind of keep your Facebook on off. You know,
all the way off, all the way to deactivate
it. So we gotta let them know what's Bethel in his own world. So we gotta let them know what the folks are talking about.
He's in the Matrix,
right?
man.
Yeah, he's trying to get out the Matrix, in the Matrix. We don't know what Bethel's doing over there.
I'm out that Matrix for certain. I'm out of that one.
But one of the things I want to do a shout out to is to our black women who are out there doing it again.
Right.
Leading the way into different. Our black women are out there doing
indigenous women. Yes.
So our black and indigenous women that are leading the way out there for us again. They constantly are soldiers on different things. And once again, they are in the forefront, in the limelight of some things that I think we need to discuss out here. And this is in the limelight of mental health. Right. So right now we're in the midst of the Summer Olympics, and we have now seen three of our women come up, three prominent, like these are some buses, like head buses when it comes to this sport.
Right.
You know,
they're at the top of their game.
They're top of the game, right? They can do what they do. But at the end of the day, they're facing some things as because of them putting their mental health first.
Right.
And so
there's a lot of judgment going on.
Yeah, judgment. Yeah. I mean, what you've been seeing when it comes to this stuff, Harris? What you see?
Man, I see a lot of people who just, to be honest, maybe have never achieved that amount of pressure and success in life, making judgment calls, what they feel like that individual should or shouldn't do. And I just feel like it's crazy, man. We're at this point in time, we should be applauding someone who has everything to lose, but is fearless enough to put themselves first.
Right,
mm-hmm.
right. So we got Naomi Osaka, right? With her situation, she took a hiatus from playing tennis. It was a couple of the majors.
Is it the French Open?
Yeah, the French Open was one, but she also, there was another one that followed right behind it that she decided not to participate in until the Olympics, right? And so, and she was promoting that she was taking her break, because have y'all paid attention to her in her career at all?
She's always been that way. She's always been talking about this stuff,
right. Like she's always been a soldier out there promoting different things. I mean, just a year ago, when you had all the stuff going on with George Floyd, you know, she was wearing a different mask.
That's what I said.
7 masks.
Fearless.
Yeah. And
went all the way
She
through.
had 7 masks and one. Like, she went through the whole thing, a different mask each match.
Right.
If she didn't win, you wouldn't have saw all 7 of those masks that she had. Which is this tells you about the mentality that she had going into
she's a winner.
That tournament.
Yeah, she's a winner.
She's a winner.
Right. And she was openly talking about how she's had to deal with depression.
Right.
And I think there's this misnomer to think that just because you have achieved success in your career and also accumulated money, that you can't battle certain things like depression.
Man, nobody cares about the gladiator.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And so Bethel, I want you to get into that, because you having and both of you guys having that experience at a high level as athletes. What is it like? Because we've had some conversations about nobody caring about the gladiator, and I want you to expound upon that. What is that? What is that like?
I mean, if you just look at the movie Gladiator in and of itself, as long as he can entertain you, everybody is on your side.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he killed somebody and killed all these guys, and are you not entertained, right? Because he was tired of fighting. You know, for one, he wasn't free, but he was tired of fighting to even try to be free. So are you not entertained?
Right.
So for us, as long as we're entertaining people, everybody's going to cheer you on, right? But the minute you decide to be a human,
come on,
and take human responsibility for your own mental health,
right,
and what's necessary for you, then everybody has something to say. And like to your point, we're talking about people who haven't even achieved certain levels in life to even feel what that pressure even is remotely like.
right.
Is there a way for you to kind of even describe what it feels like, that pressure? Is there a way for you to even put it into words?
Man, I can't even put it into words because, to be honest, like most athletes thrive under pressure because everything. That's why
when you get to that level, you thrive.
You use it as fuel.
You just thrive under pressure. Think about it. The whole time we play football, from Pop Warner all the way up to the pros. Think about it. It's all pressure.
It is.
Right.
It is.
Like you can't explain the adrenaline rush that you get.
No,
You
it's nothing like it.
Yeah.
I love it. I welcome pressure because I thrive in it because that's where I've been the most successful.
Right.
And so for people to judge Simone or even Naomi for taking control of their own human, right? They're not. I'm a gladiator, but I'm a human too.
Right.
So when they take control of that, people are not used to that, especially coming from our women.
Right. And so I'm glad you talked about a little bit through in there Simone, because Simone Biles has been doing her thing as well. And Harris, kind of update us what's happening with the Simone Biles situation.
No, and to her, she also has been vocal through the years,
right?
Because she actually was in a position to see how everything turned on Gabby Douglas.
Yep,
right. How
right there.
Yeah. So she was intelligent enough to say, okay, I know today they cheering, tomorrow they're gonna be trying to throw me in the trash because I want to be an individual, right? She decided, right, if you're not going to treat me the way I feel like I need to be treated, and if you go back and look through it, it started with the way they were scoring her.
Yeah, exactly.
She made her mind up that, you know what, I am going to take the power back.
She
I am
took it
not
back.
going to allow you or anyone else to determine my greatness because I know I'm great, which is why she walks around with the goat on. She is
got
100% confident who she
named
is.
after her.
Right.
4.
Right.
You got to be great to have 4.
Right.
And they scoring her the way they scoring.
Right. And the logic is, well, we don't want other people to try because they may get hurt.
Who gives a flying?
But this is the thing. What does that tell you about the way they feel about her? If your thinking is, I don't want other athletes to try this because they may hurt themselves, well, are you concerned about me hurting myself? No, because it goes back to what you said. As long as I'm entertaining you, everything is good. But the moment I have my own ideas about who I am as an individual, if they don't align up with your vision, it is a problem.
Bro, you know how big of a chess move that was?
Oh, yeah.
Just to say, you know what? I see what y'all doing.
Gangster.
And I'm not going to allow you to mess up my team.
Gangster.
And I'm going to go ahead and remove myself out of the situation.
And cheer for my team. Be the biggest cheerleader, right?
Yeah.
So you can't say, oh, she's selfish. Right. She doesn't. No.
She took pride out of that. That was the most selfless thing you could do.
I think so.
Especially at the day
level,
and age and level that she's at right now.
Right.
Because it's not like in gymnastics, you know, their window is short. She's showing that you can extend it a lot longer.
Well, Gabby has.
Yeah, well, that too.
She got a lot of endorsements.
Right. You know, still.
Say, you know what?
Yeah, still today.
I'm going to walk away.
Right.
And I'm going to walk away with these endorsements.
You know why? Because they have strategies.
Right. Yeah, there it goes.
It goes back to everything we say. You have to begin with the end in mind.
Begin with the end in mind. Big time.
To do it so young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to do it so young.
Yeah.
Is remarkable to me. To just, at 24, I know I had an end in mind when I entered my career.
Yeah.
But she's been in her career for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Right.
She
right.
started this as a kid.
And then if you know her story, it 100% was not a cakewalk to arrive at the level that
No.
she is, right? Things were stacked against her from the beginning.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
What-
So her mental and her mindset is extremely important because of the bumps and bruises in her personal life.
What's your favorite saying? When you see my glory,
They see my glory, you don't know the story, right?
don't know the story,
Right,
right? So
right.
I mean, that to me, is a powerful statement in itself. And we talk about what we see a lot out there, especially in social media, when it comes to building wealth and all this kind of stuff. The story that gets pushed out there is the success part.
Yeah,
That's it.
It's the smoke.
But nobody talks about the story of what it takes to even get there.
Right.
Right? So these women have things as far as they have unique stories on what it takes to get to where they're at.
Right.
And the same can be said for our homegirl with Shakira Richardson, right?
100%.
So the same can be said for her. She's got a story, a powerful story.
Right out of Dallas Carter.
Right out of Dallas, right? So and her story ended in a way where is different from the other girls because it was taken from her, a little bit earlier. Now, obviously, she took accountability for her actions, right? But it's definitely a hot topic in debate as far as
let's put a pin in there right there.
Yeah.
How old is she?
Man, I don't
20.
21 maybe.
21.
2021. Immensely
2021.
immensely talented, right? The moment that information came out, she had a virtual interview with Good Morning America the next day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stood on her 10 toes and said, "Hey, I was dealing with something. I'm human."
But nobody cares about the gladiator.
Right.
No.
You can't be human.
And that's sad, man.
You cannot be human as a gladiator.
That's
they don't care
sad.
about you as a human.
That's sad.
Entertain us.
In the midst of her losing her biological mother and dealing with. See, this is the thing. People deal with grief so many different ways, right? It manifests itself in so many different areas. Who are you to judge the way that she dealt with her grief? And the reason why I can say that, she didn't say I didn't do it. She said I did it. I recognized the chance I was taking. But what I was dealing with in my personal life was on me, and I didn't have anywhere to go.
Right.
So we have to make sure, reach out to that person in your life that you ain't talked to that family member, to that friend right now. Reach out to them because you don't know how far a good word can go.
You don't.
She's on the outside, it looked like everything is great, but on the inside, she was dealing with something.
Bro, the track is her refuge.
Yes.
Right?
It's
her escape.
That's for a lot of athletes.
for a lot
right?
of athletes,
That's
that's
why
what
a
it
lot
is.
of times in sports you see somebody have a devastating event happen and just that same day
Go off.
and have the biggest it happens over and over again
Right.
because that's our escape.
That's our escape. Right? So that's why I tell people, even when I played football, that was always my escape. It got hard on me. This is why hard on athletes when they retire. It got hard on me when I couldn't escape anymore.
Wow.
Right.
That's when it gets hard.
Wow.
Right? I had no one when I retired, there was no program set up for me to turn to. There was no outside help to help me navigate what it's like to be normal in society. It came to the point where I had to accept that, listen, what you've done in life isn't a normal thing.
Oh, no.
So you're not a normal person. So stop trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. It doesn't work. Right? Be okay with being square. Be okay with that. Right? Be okay. But I didn't have anybody to talk to. Right? So they punishing Shakira, but they had no other mediums for her to express whatever she was going through. Right? If you're going to, with these athletes also need a mental, like, what they call a decompression, right? I want to just come and sit down and kind of decompress.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea what it takes for you to perform, for people to perform at that level.
Right.
So something I found interesting is that I dove into this some years back, is that the psychology in sports, it's not something that's new as it feels like it is today. It's there's been people that have been in the field for a long time, but there have been coaches that have utilized mental health and things of that nature to excel. Some that I know for sure, the late Pat Summitt from Tennessee. One of her strategies that she would do is that she would take mental health assessments of her athletes and she would coach them based upon where they are at that point in time.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah. And so, because we know how it is, like being in football, the thing I never responded to was that coach that just sit there and just tear you down, whatever. And they think that was the fit to all. I must be a good coach because of how loud I yell and how much I tear you down, right? And that's common in football.
Very.
Right? They're gonna call you everything but your real name.
Listen, all three of us have children, right? and we recognize the way A respond is not the way B respond.
Right.
So if we recognize that, then there has to be some seeking for understanding. I can tell you, having a child that has Asperger's has changed the way I look at life. Mental health, the things that our children deal with, that maybe when I was coming up, you just got to thug your way through that thing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the way we were brought up.
Some stuff you can't beat out you. Right. Sometimes you have to sit down and talk to someone who's qualified, who can help you navigate those thoughts and those feelings. And
Right.
It's extremely important. And there are adults that have never had that opportunity and just kind of feeling their way through life. And those are the people that are sitting back judging that these gladiators, these pioneers, these icons in the sports should not have feelings. It's basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
I don't care. You shouldn't have any feelings. You should be a robot.
So what I'm hearing, regardless of whether you are an athlete or not, if you're going through something based off of what Harris is just saying, we need to find somebody to talk to.
Definitely.
You have to. Like, I'm a huge advocate for therapy now. It wasn't so much because, again, each generation passes something to the next generation, right? So my mom's generation passed that. Hey, we don't talk to people. The baby boomers, they don't go to therapy.
You telling our business,
right? You know what I'm saying? The baby boomers don't do that, right? Because again, like you said, it's telling our business. We don't do that. Growing up in the hood, you don't. Hey man, you weak, bro. You can't handle that. That's what you get when you grow up in that type of environment,
especially in sports.
Like, if you can't handle this, what are you doing out here? Right. So that's what it comes to.
I just saw a meme where the Oklahoma drill, and they said this drill created the most basketball.
It sure did. It did.
It did. Because you realize, and I tell my son who wants to, follow in my footsteps, I say, look, man, it take a special type of animal to do this.
Yes.
Like to put yourself through this is not even, it has to be something innate in you. I'm not saying you can't grow into that, but I'm saying that we know that child or that individual where you like, no, it's in them.
Yeah.
It's, they just needed some polishing. It's in them. That kid has it.
Right.
Right. That dog, that mentality, like, it's me or you.
Yeah.
What's crazy is normal people don't even understand what you just said. Because they have never been in that position. No matter what you do at your regular corporate job, you cannot simulate the amount of pressure or the amount of things that you have to go through in the sport to achieve the highest of level in that sport.
Right.
So
you don't have a clue.
Based off of all of that, fellas, this is a perfect segue to even get into the fact that the mindset that's needed to excel at that level is the same exact mindset you need
in business
in order to achieve
I agree
the level of success that you really want to. If you say you really want to be that billionaire,
it's gonna cost you something.
It's gonna cost a lot to get there. Right? You guys, I could tell from just being my partners and being in what we've been through these past 2 years of what we've been through,
man.
Of what we've been through these past 2 years, I'm telling you, it would. First of all, there's a lot of partnerships that would not survive off of what we've been through these past 2 years.
Right.
Period. There's a lot of friendships. There's a lot of things that just would not survive. The amount of sacrifice that it takes to get to where we are ascending to, it's not for the weak.
It's not. And once you put stuff out there in the universe, you better also ask for the instruction manual,
yes, sir,
of how to handle these things that's going to come with the territory.
That is
so
powerful.
Like, if I want to be a billionaire, you also better put out there, like, also equip me with what I need to handle handle the things that come with that territory.
Insulate my home.
Yes, because these things are going to happen.
Insulate my home. Take care of my family.
Man, talk about that little home, man.
Keep your hands on my wife and my children.
I'm telling you, because the bigger the request,
the bigger the test.
The bigger the test.
Yes, sir. Yes,
what
sir.
they say?
Hey, listen.
Too much is given,
much is
required.
Listen.
You're not lying when you say
No.
Man, oh man. And see, the thing is,
it's just not you.
no,
it's
that's
everybody.
exactly that's right.
so
it's a ripple
That's right.
effect.
That's what I was going to get to.
We know internally how we have been going through the fire.
Going through the test.
With the mindset, why not us?
Why not us?
Somebody has to be the first to do it. It will be us.
Yeah.
Because we refuse to allow the situation to dictate our mindset. It goes back to you, day one. We have to be very in tune with what we say, what we put out there. If you think about the things that we just randomly said, those things are in play right now. Today.
Right now. Yeah. It's weird because, again, you talk about putting things out in the universe. How many times have we been in a situation where we said, man, you know what? We need to get into that. We need to get into front of somebody that's doing X, Y, Z.
And it comes up. Boom.
Within a few weeks, few months, whatever.
It happens
the
every
situation.
time.
Shout out to LeBron and Space Jams.
It happens every time.
You know, it's just so interesting. But just knowing that you have to have the mentality, the fortitude to get through it. But while at the same time, just like these athletes, we got to be able to be in a situation to say, you know what? I'm not okay right now.
Listen.
I'm not. I got to go decompress.
Listen.
I got to decompress.
I got to decompress.
So important in business. 'Cause I 100% know this personally and believe it. Success is isolating.
Mm-hmm.
If you were or are the first or the only one to do something, I can tell you because I can relate to it. It is a tremendous amount of pressure. And when I say pressure, I'm not talking about, oh, this is hard. I'm talking about, man, the only thing that's keeping everything up is me. I am the safety net. There is no one to go to. There is no one to cry to. I got to cry and encourage myself because so many people who don't even realize or depending on me outside of my household. And I'm not even talking about like a monetary exchange. I'm talking about they need to see an example of success. We have to break or we have to change the paradigm of you need A to get to Z. No, we don't. No, we don't. If we come together and work together and do our own thing, a power move, you already said it. Simone said, you know what? I'm really bigger than the sport.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
At that point.
I'm bigger than the sport.
They tune in to watch me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Guess what?
So guess what? I just took your power.
If you listen to Aaron Rodgers' press conference just yesterday, he literally said, look, nobody's coming to Green Bay because Green Bay is the hot place to come. They come because they want to win and play with me. And if you are in a position where you don't recognize my value, then maybe you need to change. Because I can't change. I won't change. That's what makes me great.
Won't do it.
Right. But that goes back to you got to have that type of mindset. You got to be self-aware. We already said that, right? And you have to know who you are. You have to be okay with saying I'm not okay right now.
It's okay to be a gladiator in business.
Yeah.
It's okay to adopt the mentality of a gladiator because when you have that mentality, you usually are successful at what you're doing because that mentality is like, I'm going to battle through whatever it is to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish, right? So it doesn't matter what life throws or what you're still pushing through. Like no one knows, like I said, everyone sees the glory.
They don't know the
story.
Don't know the story.
You have no idea the path that I was 24 when I got drafted. Why was I 24? Injuries after injuries, along the way, I had to come back to A&M 2 years in a row as a senior. So it's like your senior year, you get hurt. And then not only that, going into your second senior year, you got to have another surgery.
You know, I can relate. I didn't get my first contract until my late 20s. You know what I'm talking about?
A month before two-a-days. You going, but you still pushing because you say, listen, I'm going to the NFL. I said this at 9.
Yeah.
But the mentality you have to push through has got to be a gladiator mentality because you got to keep fighting to get there.
Right.
And you got to do that in the business. If you want to have a successful business, you got to have that mentality. But you also got to know when to turn it off. And I think the way you turn it on, well, I know the only way you can really turn it off is talking to somebody.
Right. So that leads me to my next point with all of this as being a gladiator inside a business. The other thing is we know that by doing all of this fighting that we have to do in the business world and as these ladies had to do inside of their sport, one of the things that I think is important to do is we know that there's going to be some losses that you're going to sustain going through your journey.
Right.
But you got to learn how to profit off your losses.
Yeah.
You got to stop it. Huh?
Not just stop it, but learn how to profit.
No, you get what I'm saying?
Make
money on the short.
Yes. Short. Yes.
This is why I tell people I've never lost a day in my life.
That's right.
You just
I've learned.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I've never lost a day in my life.
No doubt.
I've learned every single time.
Listen, if I was, and I hope somebody please tag and put my girl Shakira Richardson to this, because I need her to listen to this.
Right.
Because if I was in her position, I would perform a strategy like none other to turn where I'm at right now into profit.
So guess what? Isn't that what Paula? Isn't that what
Pauline
they?
did
Hold on. Isn't that what they do when they get called out?
Yeah, that is. It's exactly.
They turn that pain into profit.
Pain into profit.
Right.
But they've been profiting off our pain for the longest.
Guess
Exactly.
What? So ideology, theology. Right. So it goes back to strategy.
Yeah.
Strategy. Y'all know I love that. You know, I'm just end up having a t-shirt that just say strategy.
It's alley-oop, baby.
Yeah, you know I love strategy, man. So after the end of the day, you know, this is how I would do it if I was her. Right? Gladiator strategy, right? See, boy, you're gonna end up doing something over there.
I already got it.
You know,
I already got how it look.
We done worked together enough to know
it don't
peanut
take
butter
much.
jelly.
It don't take much.
It don't take much.
Next cast, get ready for it.
But no, one of the things, I mean, in her situation, first of all, we know why Nike didn't drop her, right? I mean,
She's
it's all
the
about
fastest woman in America.
Right. They're not going to drop her. But think about this, right? Like, so how many in the United States, I mean, black or white, Hispanic or other, whatever, you know, the population that gets into the recreational use of marijuana
the percentages
is high.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, she lives in Seattle.
Right. So
pause. She lives in Seattle.
Trains out there.
Trains.
Right.
It's legal in Seattle.
It's legal.
Right. So in essence, she went to
the access is there.
In essence, she went to a drive-thru and got her a burger.
Pretty much, because
that's the equivalent of what we discussing.
That's
right?
exactly what it's like.
So if I was her, knowing what we know in business, right?
I've been to Denver.
I bet you have.
Like Harris said, it's a drive-through. They like liquor stores. They're on every corner in Denver. I can tell you that.
Right.
So how many deals have we seen in the past year?
Oh man,
2 years
that's dealing with
CBD and
every third deal has some component
has something
of
to do with
it.
it.
Something to do with it,
Either
right?
from entertainment to like nutrition.
Everything,
textile, like
sports therapy, all of it. Yeah. It's all in
energy.
It's all included in these CBD deals that that come across the desk.
There's deals all over, you know. So whether she's finding a way to get an endorsement, a deal with one of these entities,
which is already. It's 250 is on the table, you know.
I haven't seen. I don't know. Maybe it is, but I don't.
For an endorsement deal, they reached out to her.
Okay, see that. Smart enough to know, because there should have been some companies doing that. But even
how do I leverage that?
Exactly.
That's the thing. That's the play.
Yeah.
She got to learn
leveraging her
how to leverage her own brand.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people this: learn from Jay-Z.
Exactly.
Jay-Z never really pushed out anybody's stuff but his.
That's it.
Yeah. Even though he had the S. Carters under Reebok, it wasn't Reebok. They was S. Carters.
Mm-hmm. You never saw Reebok.
He never sold Reebok.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that's my. So I 100% understand the power behind self-branding. Kids know the word Nat Turner before they know Nat Turner.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That goes back to brand equity, right? Word association. When you realize how powerful you are as an individual, you're right. She should leverage that. She has to. 2021, she has because guess what? The window for track and field is with itty bitty. Yeah. So she has to be coming up with a contingent plan on how am I going to sustain the level and grow my capital.
Yeah.
It goes back to the circle that's around her.
Right. It does.
Because one of the memes that popped up when this first happened is, if I was your dealer, I would have been like, nah, listen, I'm going to be 100% transparent. As a young man, I was into some things I probably shouldn't have been into.
Mm-hmm.
But some cats in my neighborhood saw me grow as an athlete, and some of the things they would say, they call me Pooh. Hey, Pooh, you got to get out the car.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Pooh, you gotta get out of the car. No, I'm with you. No, you gotta get out of the car. Certain things that I wanted to get into,
They wouldn't allow you.
they would not let me. They like, no, you're gonna be the one. You're gonna put everybody, you like, so we gotta get back to that community mindset. Cause now I'm an adult. That's really what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was some older cats that were like, I see your light, young man. I'm cool with you getting close to my light, but my light ain't bright enough. Your light is gonna be bright enough. We can light up this whole community. We need you to go out and do something different to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't want to make the assumption as if she didn't have that. But 100% right now, the people that are around her have to stand up.
Right.
Because she is in a position where she's a target. And that's all this really did was expose the hate that's really out there.
Right.
She's a black woman in America. She knows she hated.
Right.
She know that people hate you just because people dislike you because they want to be you first off. Most time people they find envy in you and they don't know how to articulate that and it becomes hate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The people around her circle have to put her in a position to be successful because she has to focus on being that gladiator. That's why your team is extremely important.
Absolutely.
The people around you have to care about you at your core. Not care about the capital, care about you at your core because money begets money.
That's a word.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Care about your core, not the capital.
Mm.
Don't care too much about the. You need to care about me at the core.
Yeah,
Because capital come and go.
Come and go. Right. But I need to check on you. I just told him, I said, I'm about to pull up. I'm going to call you 2 times.
You ain't answering.
I'm being transparent. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to come see you. Like,
make sure you were breathing.
Yeah. We got to get back to.
Harris has pulled up on me a couple times just to make sure I'm still breathing. Man. if I don't answer the phone, because I get knee deep in all this mess, and it just. You know.
Guess what? And because I recognize people don't see the darts and the pressure at home and trying to make A get to Z. They don't see any of that, so they don't realize that we too. And I'm gonna speak on black men. We got
indigenous.
Indigenous.
I was waiting because you didn't correct him the first time.
I've been letting it slide.
You didn't correct him the first time. You gonna correct me the first time.
Right. I've been letting it slide. But it, you can see if you can see goosebumps.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you gotta say something, Belton. You gotta say something.
Listen.
Even Tyreek. Now she finally came around talking about these Indians now. Come on, we indigenous. We indigenous here.
Those that know get it. Like, all of us that come over here to slave ship, and they that's another lie, right? Everybody that looked like you and I did not come from Africa, right? And vice versa, right? So there, 2 things can be right and wrong at the same time.
Right.
But I'm saying we as men have to do better as far as checking on our brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because maybe if she had someone checking on her, not to saying she wouldn't have done what she did, because she's a grown woman.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons why I love and respect her, because she stood up on her 10 toes. But even more, like, we need somebody, your circle needs to have your back. And have your back is not necessarily about, are we making money together? It's more about your mental health, right? Where are you? Making sure that you're not in a place, because guess what? Bad things happen to all of us, right? It's just part of life, right? His grace is sufficient. We live in life with a thorn in our side. You got to be okay with some of this pain, but you can't stay in that place too long.
Right.
Because if you stay in there too long, it may put you in a position to make a mistake.
Fight, flight.
Right.
What is it? Fight,
flight.
Flight.
That was a good one. From our training.
From our training that we did.
Fight, flight, or freeze.
Freeze.
Yeah.
That was the third one I was thinking about. Fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah.
In those situations. I know for me, with Harris,
and I wanted,
you always want to fight.
And no, I'm going to respond to you not remembering. You talk about me in football, and what is that? And you asked me, the person who played and did all this.
You're right. I shouldn't have asked you behind. I should have been right over there.
Harry played too, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, listen.
Goodness. But Harris, man, you want it. You want it big time, because I know for me, when I'm going through,
right,
I do not say nothing.
No, it goes back to what you said.
Mm-hmm.
We've been conditioned that way.
Yep.
Yeah,
we've been and guess what? This is what happens. Things get so out of whack, we just feel so overwhelmed. We like, man, nothing I can do about it.
Right. I get to.
You had sent me a video about being all right, and I sent it to my wife.
Yeah,
because I sent it to her. I mean, my wife understands. My wife been with me 14 years.
No doubt.
And so she been.
Shout out to the queen.
Yeah, she been with me 14 years. So when I was going through the stuff I was going through, she saw it all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? She saw it all. The whole entire time I was struggling to transition into society, she saw it all. And so, but I would always say I was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she knew, like, no, you're not. My wife, the one told me I was depressed, and I had no idea.
Listen, my wife too. Like, you need to go talk to somebody. Like, nah, I'm straight.
But during that time, you don't recognize what you're in.
Nah,
right? I didn't recognize that I was depressed at all, but she recognized it because I'm acting out, I'm lashing out, I'm doing all like what is going on? Like that's signs of somebody.
It's displaced. It's unresolved issues.
Exactly. So, going through that type of stuff, like you get to, find out who you really are in those situations and find out who your partner is in that situation.
You're right.
Yeah, man. Because what happens, especially when you're going through, that pressure gets applied. That's when you really get to see who you
really are.
You say with pressure on, or with your representative.
I'm telling you, when the pressure is applied,
the first person to run.
When life put pressure on you,
right?
Your representative, the one that you want everybody to believe you are, that's the first thing to abandon you.
Right.
Is your representative,
right? And
your real you show up. So the acting out is the real you. Yeah, that's who you are. So if you act out, I'm out of character. No.
You're actually in character.
You're in character. That's who you really are.
Right.
The character finally arrived for us to see.
The real person showed up. But that all right, like you said, man, that was powerful. And I shared it with her, and she was like, "You don't never have to tell me you're all right, right?"
Because bro, we go through our lives every day, and like it's piling on, it's piling on, it's piling on, it's piling on, it's piling on. You're like, I don't have time to focus on this piling on because I got to focus over here because I'm trying to get to over here.
Isn't that weird how society's set up?
Come on,
we got to suffer in silence as men.
Yeah,
it's not a masculine thing where I'm from to say, man, listen, I need help. But that's actually a masculine thing.
Right.
Listen.
Right. That goes back to knowing who you are, right?
Right.
You know yourself. You can actually let that pride down and say, you know what? I really do need help in this scenario, right? I know that for me, there's times when I allow pride to get too far in the way.
Pride is the devil.
J. Cole said it.
Oh, yeah, my goodness.
It's the second episode.
Every time I get ready to get prideful about something, I think of that song.
Man.
Shout out to J. Cole. Appreciate that.
That is a great song because it hurts because I guess I get into a situation to where I get tired of asking for help. When you've grown up in a situation of lack and always having to ask, and you see in people's faces on how they look at you when you are asking for the help. And most times I'm just like, and I don't want to be in a scenario where you try to put it back in my face.
Right.
And so now I'm just like, nah, that's all right.
Right.
And so sometimes I get that pride situation and be like, I don't know if I want to ask, or I don't want to seem like I'm not capable, of being able to take care. But it's okay to say I don't have it right now.
Right.
It's okay to be in a situation to where it's like I need to lean on, somebody.
No doubt.
If you ain't got no friends around you that you can lean on in those type of situations,
you don't have no
then you don't have any friends.
Right.
You don't have any friends. Like you should be able to lean on somebody in your circle.
Right.
Because the thing about your circle, it's supposed to elevate you.
Right. My man Dame Dash, man, regardless of how people feel about him, he's abrasive in his delivery, but that dude be dropping a lot of jewels.
A lot of pearls.
Like that just be like, man, you gotta get with it. He was talking about this about your circle, having your circle around you.
Yeah.
Remember we watched that, right?
Right.
And he was saying like, okay, it don't make no sense if just one of us got the money. You talk about this all the time.
All the time.
It don't make sense.
You become lunch meat, man.
You lunch meat. You on the menu.
You come from the environment where I come from. Eventually, you become the op.
That's it. That's it. So now the dude, he talks about hey, all of us got to have money. And then if one of us fall off, one of us, each of us can peel off a little bit here, a little bit here.
Yes.
Now my man's back on his feet.
That's how it's supposed to be.
And we keep on going.
Yeah, listen, I'm 100% about that, man.
So that mindset of making sure that all of us are good, all of us eating, like that to me is why, I mess with y'all dudes like that because y'all have always made sure, even in a situation where I've been in a tough spot, y'all have y'all two right here, especially these past 2 years.
Yeah,
y'all have had my back,
bro,
more than I can even say.
This is the thing about it, right? And like, if you look at life and you ask yourself a simple question, and I try to teach this to my son, because my son has Asperger's and he has trouble processing things, and he like, I want a friend, or I say, look, man, friends overrated, bro. Friends are like emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You want somebody who's gonna be loyal to you, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who is gonna be okay with you being you, but love you enough to say, bro, do your work, bro. Don't get in trouble. You better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Like those type of people that can pour into you.
Right.
You have to have those people that see you, that see the light in you when maybe at that moment in time you don't see it in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have those people, your spouse, your significant other, your family, friends. You have to be in a position. That's why it's really important, man, from a financial standpoint, for us to be in a position where we are lenders and not borrowers.
Mm-hmm.
So we can be free emotionally and mentally to be in a position to pull back into somebody, and we're not burdened with the bills of life, right?
Right.
Because that's where the control is. If I put that yoke around your neck, I don't care how big and strong you are. If I pull to the right, you got to go to the right,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the control. Somebody else may see, I can handle it. Yeah, but you don't have to handle it all by yourself.
You don't. But that's the thing. But we were conditioned and groomed to believe as a man, you got to handle it all.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said it's funny how society is set up.
Yeah.
Because as a man, you don't get to cry for help.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
You get to suffer in silence.
Right.
We don't want to hear your problem, sir. Because indeed, a man is supposed to be a gladiator.
Right.
Nobody cares about you,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
right? Until they need you.
Until they need you.
They don't care about you until they need you.
Look,
You know what I'm saying?
it's like insurance, huh? You don't need it till you need it.
Yeah. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my goodness.
You know, don't care about you till they need you. But like I said, with our circle is, we're on the same trajectory, right?
Yeah.
We have the same outlook on life as it relates to our family,
Yeah.
what we're doing in business,
Community.
like the community,
Yeah.
those important things. We are
aligned.
we're aligned in those things, right? And so with us being aligned in those things, like we understand, like it's like, man, if my brothers need me,
Yeah,
brother, no
yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
I asked for this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I read that scripture,
That's
to
powerful.
be a lender and not a borrower, I was
yeah.
like, listen,
Yeah.
I want to be a lender.
Yeah.
And that comes with my territory.
Expand,
Right.
Jabez, expand it.
Yeah,
It
comes in with the territory.
You use me.
So are you a lender now?
I've been a lender. I've been a lender. I've been a lender, but I have no problem with it because at the end of the day, I tell people this all the time. Listen, you can't reward me like the universe does.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know if I put something out there, I don't expect it from you.
Yeah.
I expect it from the universe to come back the way I want it.
Mm-hmm. It's called reciprocity.
I believe in universal reciprocity.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's gonna come right back. The good I put out, the stuff I do, it's like, yeah, I'm doing this because it's in me to be that way. But at the same time, I also understand, like, if I'm this is who I am naturally. This is why is why I am where I am.
Yeah.
It's because I'm like this
Yeah.
genuinely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I help. But I'm also smart about how I help.
Mm-hmm.
I don't let anybody take advantage of me. I'm a street dude.
Right.
I mean, I'm a street dude that went got it highly indoctrinated. I got a degree a degree to prove that.
It's a 54 worth 50 the course account. Either way it goes, see the country, they ain't gonna be able to miss you.
No.
Yeah, it'll be able to miss you.
You know, so it's like, man, you took a street dude and add some education to him.
Right.
Good luck.
My kids tell me all the time, I'm still hood. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
What?
okay. Because guess what? My spidey sense go off all the time.
All the time.
This man be talking about, man, this making my tattoos itch, man. I don't want to get in trouble with Harris tattoos itching.
Because it's the thing. I was that cat, so I already know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it feel like. I know what it smell like. I know when it's time to go. It's called discernment now. I'm older, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm more mature. But I recognize, man, we do so many things as a culture and as a community because that's what we have been shown, not because that's who we are.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment we realize who we are, we get labeled and labeled by society, which is why Simone could say, "I'm good. I'm so confident. I'm not going to go hide.
Right. I'm gonna stay right here.
You're not gonna shame me.
I'm gonna stay right here,
and I'm gonna clap,
and cheer my.
And then in the press conference when they won their silver medal, she was so cold.
Yeah.
They were trying to get her to.
They're trying to get her to say something.
Step on the landmine. So check this out. This is where a landmine works. It doesn't blow you up or harm you when you step on and put pressure on. It's when you take the pressure off of it. It's when you get exposed. They thought they were going to put her in a position where she was going to be exposed. What she did was let her light shine so bright. She was like, no, this medal is not about me. Don't make this about me. It's about my teammates, right? And then her homegirl on in was like, let me make this clear. We got this medal, but none of us would be up here if it wasn't for her.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Man. This has been some great conversation right here. I feel like we got more. We didn't even get to our other hot topics that we
dive into this.
We dive into this, and we do this all the time. So what we gonna do?
Mental health is not only big right now. It actually light needs to be shining. We have to normalize our community, and let's be honest, just the world being okay with getting help.
You got to.
We
have to. That's a must in our community, right? It's a must for us to have. Right. It's a must for us to have mental wellness.
And it's also a must to learn how to profit off of them losses.
Right.
Yeah, you can.
It's also a must.
She can run with it.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right.
It's done all the time. Why not us?
Hey, listen. That's my philosophy.
I know. I done took it on.
Why not us? Right.
Why not us? Right. So if in the scenario, whether
good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn how to turn it. In business, we just call it making it a pivot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Right.
Learning how to pivot when things are not going the way that you want it to go.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have to have mental fortitude along with knowing who you are and say, you know what, I know when I'm not okay. Yeah. But you got to make sure you got some folks that can ride with you when you're going through all of this, right?
So if you go back to the movie Gladiator, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Marcus Aurelius. He was the leader. He ended up being a leader amongst the slaves,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they all fought for each other all the way to the end,
right?
Mm-hmm.
All of them, to their death, right?
Yeah.
He had a circle in that situation that looked out for each other in that situation. You know what I mean? So what we're saying is, get you a circle that's going to elevate you and inspire you to be the best you can be.
That's right.
If you don't have that, then your circle is an anchor,
right?
And you're not going anywhere.
Ooh, Lord.
We got to normalize giving each other compliments.
But I'm gonna give you credit for this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you credit for this.
Oh man,
I'm gonna give you credit. I got to
take it too.
I got
give my credit. I'm taking my credit.
I got to give you credit for this because before Fish and I became friends, it wasn't a normal thing for my partners to be like, "Hey man, I appreciate blah blah blah." Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You this type of dude, and I appreciate that, whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Fish come along. He'd be like, it made it a normal thing, and it wasn't a weird thing. Man, this dude said, "Oh man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate how you are, whatever."
Yeah.
Like just really appreciating you for who you are and highlighting what you are.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it was weird at first, but then I was like, man, why is it weird? Like that's my boy.
Mm-hmm.
So if he
why is it weird?
Why is it weird?
Right.
It's because of the way we grew up. It wasn't a manly thing.
Societal norms.
It's a societal thing. Well, I wouldn't say societal. It's in where we from.
Well, wait, okay.
In our environment, right? In our environment,
right?
It wasn't a masculine thing to tell a brother, "Hey man, you know I appreciate you." Or you tell your brother, "Hey man, I like that. I like the suit or whatever."
Already,
it wasn't that.
Not a backhanded slight. It's genuine. Like, nah. I tell you, I say, hey, shout out to my boy. Check him out over there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, he was talking about you the last time about your flyness, but Bethel, man.
Yeah. Say,
Bethel, he be having some fly stuff too.
I'm gonna tell you something. We call him the chocolate ring.
What? Yes, that's them rings you be using to work out.
Yeah.
Them rings.
Hey, check out my man physique. You know I just want to tell y'all one thing. Yeah. That's grass fed. And it's built not bought.
But no, 100% plant based over here.
Real talk. We gotta get in the point we have to normalize, recognize each other's light, and then being okay with saying, like, I posted something. It was like, you changing on me, but you don't realize I'm clapping for you.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, I'm the type of person, I'm 100% okay with cheering for the next person because I'm confident enough to know if
I'm gonna get it.
if I get an opportunity, it's over with. And guess what? That comes from sports.
Mm-hmm.
I went to KU is because they said you can play there. You can get on the field. I played Pee Wee all this time, and I remember like, look, man, the cat that was there was killing it. My mindset was, if they ever give me a chance, I ain't never letting the ball go.
Right.
To the point where I would be on defense to take the ball and take off running and score. I'm gonna make myself a running back.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but you are not listen. And I got the opportunity, and I ain't gonna say that I was doing something, but you know,
You were doing something.
I did all right when I got that opportunity, and I take that into business and in life. Yeah, I take that into being a father and being a husband. Like, you know what? Things ain't gonna always go the way I want them to go. I'm mature enough to recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
But how I react is where I'm gonna get my glory. And you know, when things are said and done, and I'm standing before the Lord, and the Lord say, "You did a good job." I want that to be one thing. He said, "You know what? I see your growth. I saw you mature into the man I knew that you should have been." And that's called mature. That's called being able to say, "Hey, bro, I love you.
Mhm.
Hey, bro, you okay?"
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or it's real difficult. I need some help.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And see, and we're open about those things with each other.
No doubt.
But the main thing, we hold each other accountable.
All day long.
And that's what that's a lot of people don't do that, right? You got to have people that hold you accountable. When I'm off my mark, hey, I need my brother to say,
Yeah.
hey, man, get back in line, bro. Get off your mark, bro.
I mean, why are you calling this person the whole? Never mind.
You know what I'm saying?
Here we go. I say, hey, we're not gonna do that.
You know what I'm saying?
We gonna let them make it.
We're gonna let them make it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
The
you
level
know,
we at, we're not gonna do that.
Come on, man.
But that's the thing. We hold each other accountable, and you need that as part of your circle, right?
Mhm.
So I applaud Shakira, even though you know they took that away from her. I hope she, capitalized on this opportunity to learn from it, capitalize on it, and build from that. I'll definitely applaud Simone for what she did and how she handled that situation. I applaud Naomi Osaka.
Right.
I'm applauding our women for taking control of their lives and not letting society dictate how they move.
Right.
Right? They're taking control of that. And it's a beautiful thing when you say, listen, I'm gonna put me before this because this is temporary. I gotta deal with me when this is over.
All
Deal
day
with the
long.
core. What'd you say earlier about the core?
Core over capital.
Yeah, core over capital. Right.
Core over capital. So
Core
if
over
there's
capital.
anything else, folks, that y'all need to take down from everything that we talked about, remember to take care of that core
core over
first.
capital.
Core over
Hey
capital.
man, we
man.
gotta keep going. We
We
gotta
got
do
it.
part
Man,
two.
we're gonna have to do a part two,
you're right,
man.
you're right.
Because
We gotta keep this rolling.
we gonna have to keep it rolling and do a part two because we didn't even get to our other hot topics. But this was it was so meaty that I think it was needed.
Yeah.
And I appreciate y'all fellas as always being
Oh, yeah.
transparent,
No doubt.
being able to give your perspectives. And for those that are watching, please continue to push and make sure that we get some things to where we're liking, sharing, commenting, especially the commenting.
Yeah.
We want to get the conversation going so that we can continue to just spread and keep it going. We're not saying that we have the only perspective. That's why it's important for us to hear other perspectives, right?
Right.
So please do those things, like, share, comment. But that's us. We On the Money podcast. We're gonna stop here and we're gonna do a part two of this. So Spider, go ahead, bring us on out. Appreciate it.
So Motive B.